Daredevil is always a character that I have been a fan of, but haven't really dived into much, really. I've read Man of Fear, I am a fan of the Netflix, let's say the MCU version of the character. I am a defender of the theatrical cut of the movie, the 2020, the 2003 movie. I'm a defender of that. I have read some more of the Frank Miller stuff. I have read the first issue of Daredevil ever, and I read a few issues of the beginning of a one where Matt became a priest. He's retired, and Elektra is Daredevil. I've read a couple of those, but I'm like, I kind of want to read Daredevil monthly. I kind of want to like get really into the character. So hearing that there's a brand new Daredevil issue 1, my guess just in time for season 2 of Born Again. I had to guess marketing wise. I'm like, sign me up. Let me get into Matt Murdock. Let me read this take on the character. And what we have here is a pretty solid issue. It is a really solid, well done issue. Now, when it comes to the overall plot of the story arc, it's not that. It's kind of pepping the seeds of that. Like, we have a villain Omen, and I assume the hints of Omen happen halfway through, because there's a situation where there's a character who is a detective, bumps into a body with no eyes on a subway. I assume Omen, that's how Omen kills people, by taking people's eyes, I assume. But he shows up at the beginning as a ghostly figure, hinting this is how we go, this is where we're heading, and now we're seeing how we got here. And at the end, he shows up, and all his dialogue is, "I see the future, and the future is death." He's one of those the fortune teller villains. He's one of those type of villains. So at this point, I don't really have an opinion yet on Omen. It's a little bit like let's see how we go. But when it comes to the actual story, when it comes to like the beat and bone character work here, it does a really solid job of setting up the status quo of Matt Murdock is not a lawyer, he's not a priest, he is a university lecturer, and we're witnessing day one, and how he's learning on the job, how he wants no technology, he just wants every student, because he's probably remember what it was back when he was in uni. He's like, "Hey kids, get off your phones, get off your laptops, pay attention." And a student goes and says, "Mr. Murdoch, Professor Murdoch, not every student learns that way. They learn it in different ways." And he's like, "Okay, let's be halfway." So he's learning on the job. There's these other characters showing up who taste different skill sets and that. And also you get a sense of Matt aging, which is rare. It's a rare thing to read in these, when it comes to the big two. Because comic books, definitely for the big two, have a soap opera aspect of things. The concept of Matt reflecting that he's old, and reflecting that he's not as young as he used to be, it kind of, it feels refreshing. Like, Peter Parker has been 20 for the last, what 20 years? he's been 20s all the time. Because comic books have this kind of soap opera, kind of, for the big two, have a big soap opera quality to it. How it never ends, the characters are always the same. You know what is the best way to describe it? Comic books for the big two is quite like The Simpsons, but it's always 10 years old. Lisa is always 8. And that's the situation. it's the same situation that it is like reading a new DC comic or a Marvel comic. It's just like knowing, and the status quo will go back to the same after the writer is done. But when it comes to Daredevil, it does feel like, Daredevil's like, you're big, but not big enough to the point the writer can kind of do whatever they want to do with them. And the character can change and grow and all that. And I just like how he's reflecting about his life. And not in Elektra this and Kingpin that and blah, 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 blah. But he's reflecting just how he's aging. His body's not as used as he is. How he loves being Daredevil. Like, he loves putting on the suit. And how he knows, Hell's Kitchen, it doesn't matter how many coffee shops are open and how many new, rooftop bars there are in that section of New York. He knows where everything is, and he knows to be on that person and beat that person up and that type of thing. And, you could tell there is a bit of a Peter Parker-ness where, like, Matt loves being Daredevil, but Matt might struggle being Matt. And by the end of this issue, when we fully meet Omen, it is at that point where the two characters or the two alter egos collide and figure out, like, how does Omen know Matthew Murdock? What pictures does Omen have? Why is, the angel of death awaits, to quote a certain anime movie from the other side of things, how how he does it. Is he the serial killer or the killer who takes people's eyes? I thought it might hint to Muse a little bit. Because I'm like, I've seen pictures of Muse. Does Muse take people's eyes out? Isn't that his thing? But take that as you will. But I read the issue and I'm like I even like him reflecting, talking about the age thing. Like, I love him reflecting with an old work colleague, and how, like, he's a good pal, but he's not Matthew. He's not fucking Nelson, and how he's also reflecting his life and say, like, this is good, but it's not as great as being an actual lawyer. It's James, this old buddy, is great, but he's not foggy. It'll be interesting, like, at this point, it'll be like, if he gets a new love interest, will Matt be like, you're good and great, but you just know Elektra. you just know Karen. You know Karen Page. You know Elektra Nachos. You know Black Widow. You're not every female superhero character who I have basically outside of Sue Storm, because she's into Namor. She's really into clearly the Little Mermaid is Sue Storm's favorite Disney film. Clearly, because I guess she wants to fuck Ariel because of Namor. Anyway, outside that, he has hooked up with every female character in the Marvel universe you can think of. Matt Murdock is a bit of a manhole, and that's a bit of a compliment. Yeah, maybe it is. What's Matt's secret? Probably is that he's blind. This probably is Matt's secret. Matt's secret is the motherfucker is blind. That's the truth. That's the truth. But anyway, comment below. Also, me, try and make this entertaining, me joking around and all that. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts of this issue. And if you say, dude, I get you. Hey, try this one. If you really want to get into, like, really go, deep and dive into the character. But anyway, comment below. Let me know your thoughts of this issue.